Hi there, and welcome to another episode of In David's Kitchen. Today we're doing one of my favorite side dishes, Southern Buttermilk Biscuits. This was actually a viewer request, so it's something that we love. It's in our repertoire, and I love making this. So if you have something that you would like us to make, please put it in the comments, and we'd love to see if it's something that we can make for you. So Southern Buttermilk Biscuits are pretty easy to make, 6 ingredients, and take about less than 20 minutes to make. So we're going to get going on that. We're going to start here with our sifter and all-purpose flour. So we're going to use 2 cups. I already have 1 cup in there. 2nd cup of all-purpose flour already in there. Then to that, we're going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt, a 4th teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. That goes all in there, and we're going to sift that all together. And the sifter, you may ask, oh my God, that sifter looks old. But this is my mom's sifter that I inherited, and she used and loved for many, many years. So I love it, and it works great. And I've never been able to find another sifter that works quite so well. We're going to put that then, after it's all sifted, into our food processor. So scoop it. And then to that, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of chopped up, ice cold, unsalted butter. So this is 6 tablespoons. I actually froze it and then I cut it up and it's all nice and cold. One of the tricks with buttermilk biscuits is you want to have your ingredients nice and ice cold. Some people even put their flour in the refrigerator before making it. So we're going to put the lid on our food processor, and you just want to give this a couple good spins of the food processor to mix that butter in there, chop that up. And get that off, and we want to see that butter all nice and mixed in there. We don't want to see any too large of lumps. Let's give it one more quick spin. There we go. And we got that all good. Then to that, we're going to add buttermilk. So it's just 1 cup of buttermilk. Sometimes, depending on the humidity or whatnot, you may need a little more, a little less, a little bit more flour. But I generally find that this works pretty well. 1 cup buttermilk. And then you're going to want to mix this in just until it's mixed up. You don't want to overmix it. And we got that going. And that is nice and mixed up. That's what it should look like. Is nice, good, and mixed up, but not overly mixed. So we're going to get this going here then onto our cutting board and start shaking it. So we'll be back in just a second. Thanks so much. Hi there, welcome back. Okay, so we got our dough out of our food processor and onto our cutting board. And what I used was a bench scraper to kind of form it into a nice little square or rectangle, however you can get it out. You want to try and touch the dough as little as possible because your hands will heat up the dough, and you want to keep that dough nice and cold. You want to work as fast as you can. Some people will put the dough at this point back in the fridge for like 15, 20 minutes, but I find if you work fast enough and if your butter was cold, you can just do it all in one step. So you're going to take your rolling pin and you want to roll this out to about 1/2 inch thick or so. And we want to try and keep that as square as possible as you're rolling it out. Square or rectangle as possible. Then use your bench scraper, get the sides nice and even again. And you're going to fold this like a business lever. Take that, again, square that off. I'm going to roll it out one more time. So what we're doing here, what makes buttermilk biscuits so good, are all those layers. And we're creating tons of layers by rolling it out like that. And folding, and as you're folding it, you can see all the little chunks of butter in your batter, and that's exactly what you want. Let me do one more. Fold that up. And square that off. Your edges are all nice and even as possible. You need a little bit more flour on your surface. The other thing that we did on our break was we got our oven to 450 degrees, so it's nice and hot. We're ready to go as soon as these are rolled out. Do a final roll here. Again, this time you're not going to roll it out as much. Still about a ½ inch or so. You want to get nice, good biscuits. It's kind of getting away from you there. There we go. We got that rolled out. That looks like a good size. Let's see what that says. Like, yeah, about just under ½ inch. So you're going to take your biscuit cutter. You have to use a biscuit cutter for these. Dip it in flour. And then you're going to go through and cut your biscuits. The reason you use that biscuit cutter is to get those nice, good, even cuts all the way around your dough, because that's what's going to help it rise. Because if you have ununiformed cuts, or it's not quite done well, or if you just use the edges, it'll kind of rise lopsided on you. So you're going to go through, do all that, get these all cut. It usually makes about 8 or 9, depending on how well you rolled out your dough. Then use the secret cutter that I use. So what did we get there? We got 8. So then I use a little small cutter here. And then these are like my taster's biscuits. These are like chef's choice. Little extra num-nums. You don't want that dough to go to waste. You can re-roll the dough, like form it back up and re-roll the dough. But I find sometimes that will make your dough a little tough, and you're not going to get as good of biscuits on your second roll as your first roll. One more spot here. I can get a little taster biscuit, I think. It's going to be a little cut there on the edge, but it'll still work. So we're going to get all of these out onto our baking sheet. We want to line our baking sheet with parchment paper. If you're not somebody who cooks with parchment paper, I would suggest start cooking with parchment paper. Make your cookies, make your biscuits, anything that's a baked item, use parchment paper for. Because it'll make your baking like a pro. People think that you bought your stuff from like the local bakery, not homemade. So we got our 8 biscuits out there on the dough, on the paper. Our little taster biscuits there in the middle. We're going to pop this in the oven, 450 degrees for 10 to 11 minutes. You really want to watch this because these will bake fast. And we're going to pop them out and they'll be ready to go. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a second. Hey there, welcome back. Okay, so our biscuits have been in the oven for just over 10 minutes. They should be done, so we're going to pull them out and get them ready. These look perfect, so this is exactly what you want your biscuits to look like. A nice light golden brown on top. They should have a nice golden brown on the bottom, but you don't want them too overdone. You don't want them to look like toast. So you've got some nice biscuits. They come out really nice. You use that parchment paper so they slide right off. You got those taster biscuits available. And then you can serve your biscuit, just with butter, with some jam, some honey, however you want them. They're great. And now I want to show you the best part of this. So you take them, because we did all those nice layers, got a nice sticky layer there. Put some butter on them. And I think we have coming over a biscuit taster. Hello, Biscuit Taster.
Hello, hello. I feel like I'm in Ina's kitchen.
There you go. Well, fresh southern buttermilk biscuit for you. Let me know what you think.
Looks delicious. Hold on. Let me get that melty butter in there. Mmm. All the layers of the flakiness and the hot, buttery gooiness in the middle and the crunchy, golden, delicious outside.
Perfect. And I heard a nice crunch there on the top and nice and soft in the middle. So that's what you want. So best out of the oven. You can serve them for dinner or whatnot. Reheat them in the microwave for a quick pop. But these are pretty only much good the night that you make them or the morning for breakfast. Some gravy on top of them. But they're not going to keep much past a day. So thank you so much. We'll see you again. And be sure to send in your requests for recipes that you want. Have a great night, guys. Thanks.